Yo my G's, welcome back to the newest video. This one's a little bit different. We're going to be doing a meal prep. Perfect for students, perfect for vegans, and super high in protein. Also, everything I'm showing you today can be used as a base. So there's one recipe that uses tofu. If you're a vegetarian and not a vegan, you could always swap the tofu out for some halloumi. Or if you're just an all-out meat eater, swap the tofu for some chicken. We're gonna start with prepping breakfast, and I've got a really cool granola recipe. It only takes like 3, maybe 4 ingredients and a little bit of time. I'm also gassed because we're gonna be frying off some plantain today, and I love plantain. But yeah, with all that said and done, let's get straight into this one. To get this started, let's add half a cup or bowl of mixed nuts, 2 cups of oats, a tablespoon of cinnamon, 4 tablespoons of coconut oil, and a big old squeeze of honey. Give that a mix and get it chucked into a lined baking tray. Once you've put all your oats in your baking tray, make sure it's spread out evenly and put it in a 180 degrees Celsius preheated oven. It will take about 12-15 minutes to cook, but just make sure you keep an eye on it for when it goes golden brown. Take it out, it should look something like this, and serve it up, which brings us on nicely to the next recipe. You want to slice up a cucumber into quarters and remove the middle. If you don't want to chuck the middle away, eat it like I did. Trim off the ends as well, and now this is where it gets technical. Those quarters you want to slice into 4 pieces. Please ignore the ironing board in the background. Once you've got your 4 pieces, now you want to slice them nice and thin. Your slicing motion is almost like a train on the train tracks. You just rock it back and forward, and your end result is these perfect little squares of cucumber. I also minced up some garlic, nice and small, and chopped up some tomatoes as well. Similar to the cucumber, you want to cut these into quarters and remove the middle. Now we don't want the middle of the fruits because they have a lot of water and it will ruin our tabbouleh that we're making. Once the middle's gone, you want to make little indents, little slices in your tomato pieces. Layer them up to save time and cut them down. I also roughly chopped some parsley into there and a few spring onions. Get that all into a bowl and chuck in some quinoa. I've got a mixed quinoa here, so there's lots of little colours and variety, which I absolutely love. Mix, give it a squeeze of lemon, a touch of oil, some salt, and get that put into your Tupperware. To that I added some pre-made hummus that I had lying about in the fridge. If you want to know how to make some hummus from scratch, I have actually got a recipe on it, so I'll link that above. And I also got some chickpeas in there as well. These were really easy. I just chucked them in a pan, little bit of oil, little bit of paprika, boom, and that's it. Right, before we do anything, we want to get our tofu marinated up. I recommend about 20 minutes minimum and 48 hours maximum. I started off by coating the tofu in my Caribbean-inspired spice blend that consisted of some garlic powder, onion powder, allspice, coriander powder, paprika, chili flakes, nutmeg, cloves, cinnamon, dried thyme, coconut sugar, and some sea salt. If you don't have access to each and every one of those ingredients, then just pop down the supermarket and get a pre-made spice blend. Once we coated the tofu in the dry ingredients, it's time to get the wet stuff on there, aka barbecue sauce. Now it's time to mix, and if you're cooking and you want to get stuck in there, get stuck in there. Get your hands in there, give it a good mix, a good rub up and down, and once everything's fully coated and it's looking beautiful, chuck that into the fridge. Next, we want to get our plantain on, so start by peeling it and slicing it, and get about 2 tablespoons of coconut oil into a hot frying pan. I recommend you use a smaller frying pan and do smaller batches because that way you don't have to use as much coconut oil. Fry them off until they're looking golden and gorgeous. Sprinkle some sea salt on there. And it is time to move on to the not so rice and peas. I started off with a couple of cups of pre-cooked mixed rice. There was some basmati, some wild rice, some red rice in here, all sorts. Giving us lots of different minerals, vitamins, and a nice little source of protein. To that, I chucked in some tinned kidney beans that I'd washed, some toasted walnuts, a touch of parsley, and a little bit of fresh oregano. To finish it off, I did a big pinch of salt, a squeeze of lemon, and gave it a good mix. Right, back to the tofu. After the marination's done, you want to slice it super thin. Put that into a piping hot griddle pan. Cook it out until you get some nice griddle marks on there. Rub a little bit more barbecue sauce on the top. And we're ready to rock and roll. I put my rice as the base. I've got a little bit of kale in there, you know, for your extra minerals and that. Added the tofu, added the plantain, and finished it with a nice slice of fresh lemon. Are you mad? I'm actually gassed about how these are turning out. So yeah, we've done 3 recipes so far. A nice simple granola, a bit of like a Turkishy Lebanese style lunch, and a Caribbean style dinner. The only thing to do next is a pudding. Literally all you're gonna need for this is some chia seeds, some tinned peaches, and some milk. I'm using almonds. You can use coconut, oats, soya, or even cow if you're weird. Chia seeds are a super antioxidant. They're packed full of omega-3s and they've got a good protein content. All things as vegans we need. Or vegetarians or meat eaters really. As human beings we need them. But yeah, let's get straight into that one. You want to go in with 2 tablespoons of chia seeds to about 500 milliliters of your chosen milk. Give that a mix and set aside in the fridge for about half an hour to an hour. While that's chilling, make sure you've blended up your tinned peaches to a pulp like this. Once the chia seed mixture's ready, it will go a bit gloopy and the chia seeds will actually expand and absorb some of that milk. Now comes the fun bit. You want to layer up your chia seed milk combo with that blended tinned peaches. Take it in turns until it reaches the top. And voila, simple, beautiful, but most importantly, tasty. This is actually banging. I don't even like tofu, and it's quite nice. But more than the food, I just hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more meal prep ideas like this, maybe we can go into budgeting into a next video, or switch it up, do like a veggie meal prep, anything man, we can play about. So yeah, it's nice. But yeah, please do comment. Maybe comment what you would have added to this meal prep to make it even better. If you like the videos, like the videos. Subscribe if you haven't already. I've been Jordan. You've been amazing. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.